If your show-up rates are below 75% and you're consistently dealing with no-shows, wasting you and your sales team's time, this video is going to change everything for you. I'm going to show you the exact system we use to consistently get 75 to 80+% show-up rates, and it's not what most people think. It actually starts way before the appointment reminder emails. Now, most business owners think that the show-up rate problem is about the reminder emails or maybe better calendar software. Now, they're trying to solve the wrong problem. Here's what's actually happening behind the scenes. You are booking the wrong people onto your calendars in the first place. So that brings me to the first point I want to talk about, which is the tire kicker problem. Because low show-up rates aren't primarily caused by people just forgetting about their appointments. They're caused by the tire kickers, the curiosity seekers, and the unqualified leads booking calls they never intended to take seriously in the first place. These people book calls based on impulse. Maybe they were bored, doom scrolling on Instagram, saw your ad, or maybe they just wanted to gather information. But they were never serious buyers, and they are the ones that are destroying your show-up rates. Now, let's take a look at the math that everyone misses. Let's say, for an example, you're booking 40 calls per week, but only 20 people show up. Most people try to fix the 20 no-shows, but what if I told you that those 15 no-shows were people who should have never been booked in the first place? And if you stop booking those 15 unqualified people, now you have 25 appointments booked and 20 actually show up. Your show-up rate just went from 50% to 80%, and you didn't change anything about your reminder system. Now, let's talk about the key insight here, which is quality over quantity. Because fewer, better appointments will always beat more, worse appointments. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have 25 bookings with an 80% show-up rate, which is 20 calls, or 40 bookings with a 50% show-up rate, which is still 20 calls? Same number of actual calls, but your calendar is cleaner, your team is less frustrated, and your close rates will be higher because everybody who shows up is more qualified. The first step to 80+% show-up rates happen before anybody even books a call. You need to eliminate bad candidates through your application process. Now, your application form shouldn't just be a name, email, and just a phone number as well. You need to ask them specific questions that qualify the prospect, and then based on their answers, your sales manager can cancel the calls of the most unqualified prospects. For example, here at Sales Match, we ask 3 qualifying questions, and it's important to note that you don't want to overwhelm your prospects with questions, since your best, most qualified prospects will leave your application form if there are too many targeted questions and if there's too much friction, right? So you want to ask as least amount of questions possible, but really make those questions count. And here at Sales Match, we ask 3 qualifying questions, and that is, the first question is, what is your current monthly revenue? And here we specifically ask for a range because most people, they don't want to tell you exactly how much money they make, right? So we'll have a bracket for 10 to 20,000, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 50 to 100, and 100 and above, right? Now, the second question we ask is, are you currently generating a steady flow of leads or booked calls, right? And the reason we ask this is because, number one, we cannot work with businesses that are doing, under $30,000 a month. We also cannot work with businesses who are not currently generating a consistent flow of leads or calls, right? And the third question we ask is specifically is, can your business support remote closers and setters? Because ultimately for us at Sales Match to work with them, we can only go find them really good world-class setters and closers if they can work remotely. Why? Because you can just tap into a vast or way bigger talent pool and get so many more qualified prospects on the phone rather than restricting it to a geographical area. Now, these questions gives us valuable insights into our prospects, since we cannot work with people like I just said that are doing below $30,000 a month in rev, or if they need in-person reps, or if they don't have their lead gen figured out. So if they answer no to any of these questions, or they do under $30,000 a month, we simply don't place them on our closers' calendars. This basically protects their calendars so they only talk to the most qualified prospects possible. Now, let's talk about the cancellation strategy here. And here's what most people don't do, which is cancel the appointments of people who don't qualify. Now, after somebody books a call, review their application. And if they clearly don't meet your criteria, send them a polite email, something down the lines of, thank you for your interest, but based on your application, we do not think we're the right fit for your situation right now. Here's a resource that might help you instead, right? And just guide them and provide them with value so that later down the line, once they are in the position where you can help them, they come back to you. Now, yes, this means you are going to get fewer bookings, but it means that basically you're going to have a higher show up rate and higher close rates because you're not talking to unqualified people, right? And again, who cares if you have fewer bookings, right? Most founders cringe when they hear they'll get fewer bookings. However, let me ask you this. Why talk to somebody that if your product or service cannot help them at all? Why talk to them in the first place, right? You're just wasting your and the prospect's time. Sure, here's the other side to the story. If you want to build rapport, right, so that they can use your product or service at a later stage, that's a good idea, right? However, if you're running this at scale and you want your closers to close deals instead of building rapport with prospects that may close months from now. Okay, now that you're only booking qualified people on your calendar, here's how to ensure that they actually show up to the call. You need a separate, or basically you need to separate your automated communication from your personal communication. Now, here's the automated, basically the automated text and emails, right? The prospect, they basically expect reminders, right? So send your standard automated reminder emails and SMS messages, and these should come from a clearly automated system. In fact, here what we do at Sales Match, we explicitly label them as automated. So the first thing we say is, this is an automated reminder about your upcoming appointment. And then you need to include things such as the date and time with a time zone, the link, the Zoom link or meeting details, what they need to prepare or bring, cancellation or rescheduling links, right? And you need to send these immediately after the booking, right? Immediately after the booking, so they know it's automated as well. And then 24 hours before, 2 hours before, and 15 minutes before the call as well, which is optional, but I do think it's important as well that you bombard them. Now let's talk about the personal reminders that you're going to be sending from a different number as well, right? Now, the human touch, this is where the magic happens specifically, right? So essentially, you want to be sending these next personal touch reminders from a different phone number, not from the same automated SMS line. So you want to send a personal text message that clearly comes from a real human, right? And a great way to do this is just to send it from an iPhone, right? So you can get that blue bubble text as well. And simply say something down the lines of, hi, prospect name, this is Olivia from Sales Match. Hopefully you've received the automated emails or SMSs with your Zoom link for our upcoming call with Craig tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm reaching out personally to confirm you received everything and you're all set. Could you please respond yes if you're all set, or I did not receive it if you did not receive the link. Looking forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Now, why does this work so well, you might ask? Well, it's clearly from a real person. A different number, a personal tone, right? And it requires a response which creates commitment, right? And it solves any technical issues before the actual appointment happens, right? And basically you're gonna find that it makes the prospect feel valued and expected, right? Or basically it just makes him feel valued, right? So when somebody responds yes, they've just committed publicly, right? Or basically it's you and them that they're going to show up, right? And that psychological commitment drastically increases show up rates, believe it or not. Now, let's specifically talk about the timing strategy here, okay? You want to send personal texts 4 to 6 hours before the appointment. Not too early that they forget, and not too late that, they've already decided to skip. This is a different, remember, a different number from the automated 2-hour reminders. The automated reminders provides information and the personal text creates commitment, okay? Now, here's the little secret weapon that most businesses don't use. Have your salespeople send a personal selfie video before the call, okay? And you might ask, well, Craig, what does this look like, right? Have your closer record a quick 15 to 30 second, video on their iPhone, right? And they can say something, as simple as, hi, prospect name. This is Craig from Sales Match. I'm really looking forward to our call tomorrow at 2 p.m. I've reviewed your website and the application and I'm excited to learn how we can help with specific challenge, right? And see you tomorrow. Obviously the tonality here, I'm not using the right tonality because I'm just talking to myself here at a camera and to you specifically. But again, tonality is important here. The goal here is that you basically, you can also add in something like, I'm just going to use the prospect's name, Ryan, right? And here's how I would do it personally. Hey Ryan, Craig here from Sales Match. Hope you're doing well. Ryan, just wanted to send a quick video for you, just putting a name to the face so I don't show up to the call as a complete stranger. Ryan, I had a look at your website here, very intrigued what you guys are doing here, very interested to learn a little bit more about your business and your sales process to see if there's any way with your form that we can provide value to your business. Other than that, Ryan, I got you set for 2 p.m. tomorrow. If anything comes up, you got my personal cell, so just hit me up. Cheers and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. So that's pretty much how I would do it if I had to specifically send this, right? And you want to send this basically, 12 to 24 hours before the appointment, okay? Now, why are these selfie videos so important, right? Well, this simple video does multiple things. It humanizes the person that they're meeting with, right? And it shows that you actually review their information. And ultimately, it creates a personal connection before the call, right? And it makes them feel like the appointment is important to you, right? Because again, it's harder to no-show on a real person you've basically met, right? Now, again, the other thing here is that the format really matters, right? And I highly recommend that you do this from the iPhone only. And do not produce, polished videos. This should be informal. This should be rough around the edges. It should be authentic, okay? Because again, you want this to come off as authentic, right? So show your face, maybe show your office background, right? The authenticity is what builds that connection. And prospects can basically tell the difference between a template video, right, that you're just sending to everybody, or a video that's basically, genuinely personalized for them, okay? And you want to personalize it. You do not want to do this at scale. So keep it real, okay? Now, think about what you've done now. They have filled out a serious application, they got accepted, which not everybody does, they received an automated professional reminder, a real person texted them personally, and the person they're meeting sent them a personalized video as well. Each of these creates a small commitment, and stacked together, they make it very hard for somebody to no-show without feeling guilty about it, right? Now, let me walk you through the complete system from A to Z so you can get everything. Okay, the day of the booking, your qualified prospects fill out a detailed application, right? And you're going to review that application within 2 hours and cancel the appointments if they are not qualified, okay? And after, if they are qualified, they are going to receive the automated confirmation emails and SMSs sent from your automated line, right? Keep that in mind. After that, you're going to send them a video, right, from the closer, or the closer is going to send them a selfie video via their personal text, ideally from an iPhone, okay? And now the day before the appointment, automated 24-hour reminders, so 24 hours before the actual appointment, you're going to send them an automated email or text. Okay, you're also going to get a personalized confirmation text from a different number requesting a response, right? And then the day of the appointment, you're basically going to send them that automated 2 hours before, right? That automated SMS and email. And again, optional, you can also send that 15 minutes before. Now, what you should see here is 80% plus consistent show up rates, okay? You'll see higher quality conversations between everybody, right? Because everybody's pre-qualified. And you'll have fewer wasted time slots on your calendar, better close rates because your prospects are more committed and your closers are talking to people who actually need your service, and ultimately there's going to be less frustration on your sales team. Now, this is pretty much the exact system we implemented for basically here within Sales Match. And again, like I mentioned, we've been seeing consistently really good show up rates. And just as a reminder, when we place appointment setters into businesses, right, they don't just book appointments. They qualify properly, they send personal confirmation, and they ensure high show up rates. Why? Because we've told them about this. We've told them about, the selfie videos, and they get our free training, which tells them about everything we've just discussed here in this video as well, right? The 5-minute rule, basically creating rapport and creating that relationship prior to the call. Because our setters understand that their job isn't to book as many appointments as possible, it's to book the right appointments and ensure that those people actually show up qualified and ready to buy. Because the goal here is to make your sales process more efficient by having fewer, better appointments with higher show up rates and higher close rates. But other than that, thank you for watching. I really hope this video helped you implement these steps, and I'm pretty darn positive your show up rates will increase. Until next time, bye-bye.